Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good to see everybody. Let me see. H, you number one tonight. All right. Good evening, all. Good evening to you. Much love. Miss Justice, 1111, number two. All right. God bless. Number two in here tonight, Miss Justice. Patty Allen, number three. Number three, girl. God bless. And let's see, Brat, number four. Good evening. Much love. PG Mods. Much love. And chat. She's put purple hearts. Summer's Army. Amen. Girl, that is beautiful. That's beautiful. God bless. Number four. All right. I'm going to get down through here. Stephanie, there she is. Deputy Sheriff, good to see you. Good to see you. Chris, how you doing tonight? Hello, PG. Hello to you. Fishing Hook, Caroline, Carrie, Robin, Beth Ann, 77. How's everybody doing tonight? Suzanne, there's Brandy. And I didn't have the members live yet. Caroline. I still got to put everything together to do that. So it'll be coming up though. It'll be coming up. Actually, I might start doing a lot of member stuff. Because I like to do recipes and stuff like that. And, just basically recipes, some mysteries on Chit Chat. So I might start doing members only, if possible, every Sunday evening. Just to talk about things that you really can't, put out here, on the mainstream, and so forth. So I might start doing that. In order to give back to the members, the people supporting the channel. I think that would be nice. So I'm probably going to start doing that. From now on. So Sundays more than likely is going to always be, but I'm going to do a members only live about some stuff that I can't talk about out here. And that'll be coming up one day this week, hopefully either tomorrow night or the next night for sure. So one or the other, there'll be a members only live coming up. Hey CJ, good to see you, Crystal. He's clickbait. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between this situation because I don't know. My biggest problem is I don't hear things. I actually listen. And that can be a problem. And I listened to this particular person that says, oh, Don B's stalking us and so forth. I actually listened to her telling White Boy how she passed Don B's house several times the whole weekend, watching him in his backyard, watching the yard sale, watching him mow grass, even said that she knew that he went to, I don't know, somewhere to eat. He went someplace to eat, and some breakfast place or something, and she even knew he was there. I don't know who's stalking who, right? I'm not sure who's stalking who, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, Don B, they're saying that old Don B is stalking them up, but I don't know. I don't know because I plainly listened and heard this woman come out, and she didn't say anything. Don B got himself in this case, and that's just some muddy water right there. That's a stormy water that he's in, and I don't know. I I mean, I heard this lady say, and this woman also said that she went into a Facebook group, you know, for their area or something, and Don B's wife was in there talking about, her mother passing away. She could have said my mother, my mother's really ill and I'm worried about her passing away. And then later said, she did pass. What I'm saying is a lot of people, get things wrong. What you say and what they want you to say is two different things. I wasn't in the group, so I don't know what was said. I have no, but why did she go in there? Why did she go in there to befriend Don B's wife, who was already in there? Don B's wife was clearly already in there. And then she goes and joins the group, and starts talking with Don B's wife. And Don B's wife obviously works because she's delivering, food, right? She's delivering food to their door. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Um, you know, and then they said that, he was taking, hey, Chris, I appreciate that. God bless. Member for 9 months. All right. Boy, you started the night off right. I appreciate that. God bless. Lots of prayers for Summer and all missing kids. Amen. Um, I don't know. I have no clue. It sounds to me like they're kind of stalking each other. I don't know, you know, because this woman goes into a group she knows Don B's wife's in and joins up with it. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? I personally believe someone, someone has asked this neighbor to watch Don B, like they said, like the woman said, it was someone else that came to her saying, you know, and then when she said Don B was, taking pictures of somebody's house, he was saying, what he said was, oh, look, you guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful morning. And he's got the camera pointing to the sky. Yeah, you can see people's homes and stuff, their yards and homes and everything, but he was pointing the camera to the sky. He wasn't, he was just saying, hey, it's wet out here, but it's still beautiful, morning. And he wasn't even, it wasn't like he's zooming in on somebody's house and zooming back out and zooming in saying, look at this. Oh, goodness, look at that. I know. He was just, I'm going to tell you, some people just, they want to twist things to fit their damn narrative, to be honest with you. They want to twist stuff to fit their narrative. I know a lot of people don't like Don B. I have had my wrath with Don B. Trust me. I know. Don B can be a handful. Remember he came out and said he was going to roast some people and PG's going to be first, and he didn't roast nobody else, did he? No, he didn't roast nobody else after that. Because I wasn't taking that one lightly, right? And he started with me and ended with me. But, I'm able to forgive and forget and put our differences aside. Why? Well, because you know what? At the end of the day, Don B really is for the missing kids. He really does try to find as much information as he can. I mean, he went to the school where Summer was supposed to be going, and showed people all around how, horrible that school was. He went, to a lot of different places, you know, for Summer, showing people around and so forth. And, and we were all appreciating it when he was doing it. He was, trying to keep tabs on Candace when Don went to jail. He was trying to keep some tabs on Candace to see if maybe she would go to an area where, where Summer might have been. He thought maybe she would go visit up an area where Summer could be. And, so he was trying to keep an eye to see if, she went somewhere where possibly Summer could be found. I mean, he's not all bad. He's not all bad, you guys. Now, I don't know about, him supposed to be in Tennessee for the Sebastian Rogers stuff. I mean, I don't know about clickbaiting or, anything like that. I mean, I didn't really watch him, so I don't know really what he was talking about. I really don't. I mean, I did watch where he was, shining the camera and saying what a beautiful morning it was, and he was stalking no one. He was just, she took that out of context, text to fit her narrative. That's what she did. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have met people like this guy and this girl, this particular girl, the two that were up on White Boy's channel. They're both trouble. Trust me, they're trouble. I have met a lot of people like them, a lot. And they are a you and me baby, troublemaking, think they're a couple of Johnny badasses, and just, they're seeking trouble. They're seeking attention. They're seeking trouble all the time. And, I don't mess with people like that. I could tell right off neither one of them was any good at all. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not taking up for these two people after hearing what they're saying. Right? And she kept saying, I thought we were on TikTok. TikTok this, TikTok. I mean, they're attention seekers, right? And they want everything to fit their narrative. And of course, they're not going to tell you about all the shit they did to Don B. They're just going to tell you about some little stuff he did. And I don't know. If I was Don B, I would definitely get a restraining order against him, because she clearly admitted that she was going past his home. She clearly admitted that she joined this group to get to his wife. They was calling his wife a bitch, right? So I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that it didn't take me 5 minutes listening to this woman and her husband, trying to get their damn pity party going, and, twisting and turning the table to what it wasn't, trying to make it be what they wanted it to be. And I just ain't going to go for that. I'm not going to turn on a creator's back. I'm not going to come out here and turn on another creator, a fellow creator's back. I think we've all done shit. Right? That people want to go sideways on. I think all of us, every creator has done something. As the Bible says, Him without sin cast the first stone, right? The one without sin cast the first stone. I'm not going to be casting those stones at Don B. Like I said, I forgave him. I watch him. I see that he's for the children, and that's all I need. That's all I need. I haven't watched him since he's been getting into Sebastian Rogers' case because I wasn't covering Sebastian too much. And I mean, I was keeping up with the case because I watch Pearls, right? I watch Justin. And so, it's not that I don't keep up with Sebastian's case. It's just that, I try to keep Summer in the spotlight. Well, Justin keeps Sebastian in the spotlight. I try to keep Summer in the spotlight. We don't want none of these children's cases, like Michael Vaughn, for instance. Michael Vaughn's case is like, it's in the dark. I'm not going to lie. His case is in the dark out here. Nobody even thinks of Michael Vaughn much anymore. And, that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't keep them, when you don't keep them in the spotlight. And, so what is law enforcement doing for Michael Vaughn? Are they still searching? Are they still, interrogating? Are they still doing anything, to be prosperous with his case? Or do they feel that, it's just, flatlined, right? It flatlined out here. It's kind of got put in the dark and nobody's going to care now. I don't know. But, every time I'm putting a video together here recently, the little feller, his pictures and stuff I had made just flashes all before me. And I'm thinking, I don't know why. It's, maybe, that's God or something saying, hey, you need to put some of his pictures up and keep awareness on him too, PG. Nobody else is, right? Nobody else seems to be doing it. And, so, I think I'm going to start, pulling Michael out here and keeping him in the spotlight and try to do some research to see exactly what they're doing in his case and if there's any progress being brought and so forth and so on. His case, it ain't right. It ain't right. All these kids need equal attention. We've got 3 missing children. We got Sebastian. He gets plenty of attention. We got Summer. She gets somewhat of a bit of attention. We got Michael Vaughn getting no attention at all. And that's not right. That's not right. All 3 of these children deserve equal time and space out here, equal attention out here to be found, brought home, and justice served. All 3, not just one or the other, so forth and so on, because that ain't what we're about, right? We're not about that. We're about every missing child and every missing child, getting the spotlight so that their case can get solved. But Don B is right now, he hasn't been on for 3 days. He ain't been on for 3 days. What the hell's up, Don? What the hell's going on? I mean, dude, you need to come out. You need to come out and, settle this. If you're hiding, stop. Just stop. Just come on out. Come out and have your say, right? It is what it is. I think when he took a picture of the car, he wasn't saying that it had something to do with Sebastian's case or, he was just saying that, when he got a picture of that car, he was just saying that, most kids are found, in certain places, right? They're found in certain places. And, he was just giving a reminder, that you don't know where you might find a missing child. I don't think he was saying, hey, these people, you know, have Sebastian. I don't think he said that at all. I think he was saying, you know, a child could be found anywhere. That's more or less what he was saying. And maybe the car went by and, you know, it's just something that was on his camera. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, I don't think he was like, I think people misunderstood, you know, what he was saying. I get that all the time. I swear, I get that all the time. I will say something like, how many times? Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard this. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard this. PG says that Don Wells sold a videotape to his boss. And there's no proof of that. There's no proof. This is what PG, that crazy PG's just a saying it. She's just a saying it. She put, you know, she makes up things and there's no truth to it. How many of you heard this? Okay. And put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you actually heard the video that came from the lab with Don Wells actually saying out of his own mouth, that his boss called him and was telling him, why did he sell a video, a dirty video, some sinister things on it to someone, and trying to make his boss look like a pedo. There you go. It came right out of Don Wells' mouth. But see, people get it wrong. And the ones that don't get it wrong just want to spin it. They want to spin it to say what they wanted to say. You know, like the Day. She's one of those people, right? She was one of those people trying to act like, you know, it was all made up by PG, this and that, one thing, her and her sister, right? That's because they know the truth. They know it came from the lab. They know Don Wells said it. They know all, and Candace laughed her ass off in the background about it. But these 2 wicked sisters, right? 2 evil, wicked sisters wanted to spin the narrative and just make PG look bad. Because why? Because they're haters. You know, they got no love. They got no love in them. Evil humans, man, you know, there's just some sinister people in this world and ain't nothing you can do about it, right? Stay away from them. That's what you do. You stay away from them. Don't give them no opportunities, right? Don't give them no opportunities at all. Because, you know, you open the door. If you open the door, the snake's going to slither in and try to bite you. Keep the snake out. Keep the door shut, right? I'm going to tell you, you know, that's a devil's old trick, you know? But it's so yesterday. People's already caught on to it. We all know about those people trying to twist words to say what they want instead of exactly what what you were saying. You know, a lot of people did that until they got a finger in their face saying, hey, you ain't going to twist my words, right? You bitch. You ain't twisting my words, right? Something might get twisted. I mean, you know, to be honest with you, people that used to do that, they, you know, they only did it a few times and they knew if they kept doing it, God help them, right? God help them, because people ain't going to tolerate it. Nobody's going to tolerate it. And you know, the kind of people that do think, cowards, people that don't want you meeting up with them, right? And confronting them when nobody else is around. So they stopped it. You know, that's just old shit. It's old shit. It's in the past now. People don't do that no more, unless they're lagging behind, right? Unless they're still wearing freaking saggy pants and oversized t-shirts, right? Some people don't get the memo. Times have changed. Times has changed, and nobody, like the pity party stuff. Everybody looking for a pity party. I was abused. I was this. I was that. Oh my goodness. My boyfriend, my family, my friends, my this, my that, my dog. Right? Nobody loves me. Woesy, welsy, woo woo. People got sick of that shit too. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to listen to all this drama. Take the drama to your mama. Nobody wants to hang with you. Nobody wants to, nobody wants to give you a pity party every fucking day. Get over yourself. Right? And people shut that down. That was another one of the devil's tricks, right? For some evil people to try to get everybody to hate on one person or another, right? There are two sides to every story. Well, you didn't know the other side because you didn't bother to go ask or go see. And you had these really evil people using that pity party stuff to amp people up, to hurt and attack and go at people, other innocent people that done nothing. They didn't know. They didn't know the person having these pity party stuff was the real evil bastards, right? And if they did, they didn't care. If they did, they didn't care. But I'm going to tell you, they learned real fast. These people that was listening to pity party and oh, you hate your mama, I hate your mama too. You hate your friend, I hate your friend too. Right? Girlfriend, I got your back. I got your back. Anybody you dislike, I dislike. Oh, you want to go do something? I'm with you, girl. Well, they learned real fast that you do it with that evil mother freaker, then that evil mother freaker be doing it to you. And a lot of them got it done to them, right? A lot of them they learned their lesson. They learned their lesson not to listen to pity party bullshit. Because before you know it, oh, you ain't their friend no more. They don't like you now. And now they're trying to get people to hate on you and do bad things to you because they no longer like you. So they're going to work that pity party to get at you. And people quit giving out pity parties. The pity party bullshit is done and it's over. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit you like your mama or not. I don't give a shit you like your family or not. I don't give a shit who you like and who you don't. Right? Don't come asking me to help you do nothing evil, because that only allows me to know that you're an evil human being. And I don't socialize with evil human beings. You want to go do something violent to someone when all you need to do is leave them the hell alone. If you don't like them, leave them the hell alone. Well, I'm the wrong person to talk to. Don't come talking to me. You ain't getting my ass stuck in hell, right? You ain't going to do that. I'm going to tell you, I value my body, mind, and soul too much to be working with, some evil beings against anyone. You need to forgive. You need to learn how to forgive. And if you ain't going to do it for them, do it for yourself. That's how you get even. You forgive and move on and leave that person the hell alone, right? Okay, if they really did do something, then they got to sit in their own stewing pot and stew with it, don't they? There you go. That's even enough for me. You always dream records the lives and posts it. Who? Who stream records the lives and posts it? Cray Cray Day Day. Ask me if I care. If I wasn't, if I wasn't smart enough to keep my identity safe, I'd pop the camera open and really give her something to stream. Right? Trust me. But that's what it is. And where Don B's concerned. Hey, Bride and Solo. Good evening, sweetie. How you doing, hun? Good to see you. Um, where Don B's concerned, I'm not turning on him. I refuse to do that. I really do. It just sounds to me like these are two people. Um, you know, I think the one problem makers that came on White Boys. I think I seen them twisting stuff. I seen them twisting stuff to fit their narrative, and right then and there, I wanted nothing else to do with it. Right, nothing else to do with it. I'm going to tell you, it just sounds like I don't know if Don B really, returned evil for evil. I don't believe that. Um, I don't even know if he came out here and lied. I don't even know if he came out here and lied. You know, um, maybe he did. Maybe he did go over. Maybe he, sounds like he was up awful early getting some breakfast. Maybe when he was getting that breakfast, he was on his way back. Maybe he's on his way back from being wherever he was said he was going to be. I don't know. You know, maybe a lot of shit happened and he just couldn't make it. I think like I said, I don't think he was saying that those people had anybody. Um, and it seems like these people, it seems like these people have been seeking Don B out for a while. I mean, put it this way: if I was in a Facebook group chat of people, in my area, surround my area, talking about, hey, would you like to come have coffee? Somebody to go shopping with, just looking for some girlfriends to hang out type thing. Um, and some weirdo comes waltzing in and, out of nowhere starting to single me out and trying to get to know all my business, and then all of a sudden starts attacking me and my family. Uh, you know, I've been targeted. I've been targeted. And then if they're saying they came by my house like 20 times, in 2 days, who's stalking who? That's what I want to know. Who's stalking who? I mean, he was just, talk like when he said this is a beautiful morning and was showing the sky. He wasn't, she twisted that. She twisted that to fit her narrative. And even White Boy's like, I don't think he was, stalking anybody's house. Don't look, even White Boy had enough common sense to understand that, right? Even he did. He even called it out. That's a thumbs up. That's a thumbs up for White Boy. I think even he, a little bit leery about these two people, and I think he could also see that, he comes from a cesspool of hell too, and he knows these people. He knows the character of people like this. You can't come from where Benny Keys comes from, where I come from, where White Boy comes. You can't come from places like that and not spot those kind of people a fucking way, right? So I don't know. You know, I don't know. but I'm not going to, I'm not turning on Don B's back. I'm not going to do that for nobody. I don't, creators out here's got to stop. We got to stop, you know, all of this drama, hating on one another. All of us are doing everything we can for these missing kids. We're doing all we can do for these missing kids. And, all of us walk through hell. All of us walk through hell doing it. We all get came at sideways. We all go through a lot mentally, a lot physically, a lot financially. We go through a lot. And it's, and we get a lot of respect, but we get a lot of hate too. What I'm saying is, it don't take much. It don't take much for somebody to try to totally destroy your character and your being and everything else. I mean, when I first came out here, I didn't have nothing but one lie after the other told on me. One lie after the other. Oh, you're just some scorned bitch that wanted Donnie Wells. That was bullshit. That was a lie. And, people wanted to believe it. They wanted to believe, you know, two people, Don and Candace Wells, they wanted to believe two evil, ugly, sinister human beings against one of God's children. When Mary was getting the best of Donald, oh, Mary just wanted Donnie. When PG came out going to expose Don Wells and his filthiness, his ugliness, and everything him and Candace was hiding behind the scenes and getting and doing, oh, well, PG must want Donnie Wells. Bullshit. They ain't nobody wants no fucking Donnie Wells. Trust me. Nobody wants Donnie Wells. Nobody wants Candace. That's why Don and Candace have to stick together. Let me tell you, if there was anything else wanting them two bastards, they'd be gone. If Benny Keys wanted Candace, she'd have been gone. If Ernie would have wanted Candace, she'd have been gone. If I wanted Donnie Wells, his ass would be gone. Trust me. If anything would have wanted Donnie Wells, he'd have been gone. And Candace knows it, and Dawn knows it. Them two mother freakers are stuck together like glue because no one else would wipe their backside on them. They wouldn't piss on them and put them out if they were lit up. There you go. It's just the way it is. The only reason anyone was on the inside of Summer's case was to get information. The only reason anyone was on the inside of that case was for Summer. Everybody was in there for Summer. All of us. There was nobody in there other than some weird ass Kathy lady. I don't know about her. I can't speak for her. Because she wasn't for Summer. I don't know what was up with that lady. I have my suspicions that her and her husband may have knew Don and Candace before Summer went missing. That's some of my suspicion on them. I don't know. That, she tried to say she didn't. But I'm going to tell you something. There's just something fucking creepy about her and her old man. There's something creepy about that family. Because she was hiding that box and she lied about turning it over to law enforcement, right? She lied. She was covering for Candace. They even released one of the vehicles they had to her. Something wasn't right there. There was something not right about that Kathy lady, her old man, and all, and all this stuff. This was really I mean, you just don't go stay with some stranger. You just don't go move in and stay with some stranger that you really don't fucking know. After your daughter comes up missing, and and they're going to be looking at you, for information, and seeing what they can find out, what they can, prove, one thing and another. You're not going to do that. It's almost like this woman's house was a safe haven. And Candace, and arrangements were made before Dawn even went to jail. So it makes me believe that, yeah, she was weird. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they may have been a couple of them that Dawn and Candace knew, beforehand. Maybe even a couple of them that, a couple of them that were, kind of, they strike me as swingers. Just saying. They strike me as swingers, right? I don't know. And I think Dawn and Candace swing anyway but loose, right? They might swing that way too. I don't know. I mean, they're real weirdos. I don't think Candace quite cared who Donnie was, who Donnie gets with, and I don't think Donnie gives a damn who Candace gets with. I think they're just a couple of really freaky, weird ass people. And I think that they hang with a lot of freaky, weird ass people, right? Birds of a feather flock together. And I think they were hanging with a lot of birds, to be honest. And I think, I don't know for sure, but in my opinion, Kathy and her old man and them was some of those birds. Just like Andy and Jody Sue, Fred and Laura's, and a few other people who, we got our suspicions on, that were up there, hanging and doing things. I don't know. Just saying, But I'm not going to turn on Don B. Don B needs to, he needs to find his inner strength for not only himself, but for these children. And he needs to get back. He needs to get back on the horse and ride on out here and do what he does best. Right? Do what he does best. Advocate for these babies. And don't let a couple evil human beings around the corner stop you. Somebody that has been put up to seek you out and try to destroy you. Well, they will if you let them, right? If you let them, they will. Don B, my best advice to you is don't let them. Do not let them. And, I noticed that the guy was promoting his channel too. I noticed he was saying, I'm going to save this and put it on my channel, right? And then White Boy noticed that too, because White Boy's like, well, I don't want to take content away from you. And he's like, oh no, right now I ain't worried about content, this. But he was up there on White Boy's promoting his channel. And then that woman's like, hey, you need to get some of the bigger creators out here, some of the bigger creators to put this out as well, right? You need to get some of these big creators, get this, against Don B out there on some bigger creators' channels. No. What they're looking for is promotion. That's what they're looking for. They're trying to be a Don B, right? They're trying to be a Don B. They're trying to be a PG. They're trying to be a White Boy. They're trying to be, what we already are. And they're trying to use Don B to get it done. And that's bullshit. That's just bullshit. And I think that could be why they, his wife went in and searching for Don B's wife. And they was riding past his house 50 times and all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden they come out saying, he was filming our car, saying it was, had something to do with, he wasn't saying that. He was saying that Sebastian could be anywhere. And he was mentioning different children who were found in different places, right? Different missing children who were found in different homes in different places. So he was just saying, they could be anywhere, so we need to look everywhere. And if their car just happened to get in the mix of all of it, well, that's just too damn bad, right? Shit happens. Shit happens. Don B is outside a lot. He does, he's inside a lot, but he's outside a lot too. And, if you ask me, the one that seemed to be doing the stalking were the two trying to say they were getting stalked. And there was a lot of people in there, calling Don B a lot of names. And I'm going to tell you, and that's another thing. That is another thing that really amazes the hell out of me, is how can people flip-flop so fast? How can they flip-flop? I mean, Don B is their hero, right? He's the freaking hero when he's riding over to the school where Summer's supposed to be, when he's riding around and he's trying to see if Candace is anywhere Summer could be after Don goes to jail. She might be stupid enough to run right where Summer was. He's a big hero when he's doing all of these things, he's the big hero. But the minute somebody wants to come out like those two freaking evil human beings, and I'm telling you, those two are evil, and they were promoting their channel, and they was twisting shit to fit their narrative. And I'm going to tell you what, when two people ride out like that, all of a sudden you've got all these people flip-flopping on a guy that's been out here over 3.5 years. He's been out here. He was here when I came. And he was working for these kids when I came. And they flip-flop on him. They flip-flop on someone they've known all this time. They flip-flop on him. Where the fuck's the loyalty? Where's the loyalty out here? I'm going to tell you, these haters don't have no loyalty. There's so many backstabbing, two-faced people out here in this freaking true crime community. It's unbelievable. Straight up. They're two-faced as hell, and I seen them. I seen them flip-flopping over there in White Boys freaking chat against Don B. For a couple fucking nobodies, a couple has-beens, a couple troublemakers that clearly were done admitted that they stalked him. They knew his every move for the whole freaking weekend. Well, he didn't know theirs. He didn't know their every move, but they knew all of his. That's what I'm saying. People are swift to run to trouble, and the Bible tells you don't let your 2 feet be swift to run to trouble. Do not. But I'm going to tell you, man, people take their asses down and run straight to that trouble every time. Every time. And it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm just saying, I'm loyal. I'm loyal to people. And I'm loyal to especially people that's doing the righteousness for these missing kids. I know how hard it is to be up here on this panel. I know how costly it is. I know how hard it is. I know how bad it messes with you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. I know how tired you get. I know how agitated you get. I mean, we ain't talking about sunshine and flowers out here. We're not talking about, a skip down memory lane, right? Oh, I remember being in a park, swinging on the swing set, sliding down the sliding board, running and getting a big table full of food, filling it up with all the picnic stuff, sitting with my little girlfriends and them having the picnic and giggling and laughing. I remember being a teenager, cheerleader, doing all the great things in high school, meeting my boyfriend and my forever husband and having my little family and Oh, I remember our first home. It wasn't much, but it was so little and beautiful. And, and as we progressed, we were able to, venture out to where we are now, and all the trips to all the Florida and the trips to California and the trips to Paris and France and, Mexico. And we just had such a beautiful life. No, that ain't what we're doing out here. We're not skipping down memory lane with all the beautifulness and sunshine where, we can laugh and smile and say, yeah, that is gorgeous. That's beautiful. No, we're out here skipping down memory lane, all right. A memory of these children not having a future. They're not going to go to school. They're not going to be in middle school. They're not going to be in high school. They're not going to be in college. They're not going to be a doctor, a lawyer. They're not going to get to be a crane operator. They're not going to get to be a drywall person. They're not going to get to be a stay-at-home mom. They're not going to get to be anything because they're missing. All the lives they would have touched will be untouched now in the future. That's what we're dealing with. That's the memory lane we get to go down. And it isn't beautiful and it isn't pretty. And it's very troubling to our minds, bodies, and soul. But we're out here and we're skipping down it for the sake of these missing children. And we're praying every second they're found and brought home and justice is getting served. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing what we do to bring it out here to everyone else. And then to see people flip-flop on you so quickly, I'm going to tell you, that hurts you. That hurts. I know Don B, his mind, body, and soul right now is all in traction. Because the people he thought loved him, he saw flip-flopping on him. He saw him turning on him. And it was wrong. It was wrong. For a couple freaking has been, a couple of a blind man could see two fucking troublemakers trying to promote their own asses to be out here. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be the first to call it out. I don't even care. I don't care. Do I love Don B? No. Absolutely not. I like him. But I tell you what I do love. I love the fact he's for the kids. I love the fact that 99.9% of the time he's doing everything righteous and nothing wrong. And if he did something wrong, a 1%, let us forgive him. Let us move on. Because he's got a 99.9% of pure goodness to give and has been given it. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm not, I like to think that OPG's Little Miss Perfect out here. No, I'm not. I'm not Little Miss Perfect. I got that 1% of fuck ups too. But 99.9%, I do all I can and I do it well. I think, I think we should be allowed to have a 1% grace period for everything else we do right. Right? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He knows his true supporters love him. And I'm not a true supporter of Don B, but I am a true supporter of every missing child. And I'm a true supporter. I'm a true supporter that backs every YouTube creator who is doing all they can for the missing children. I am that too. I mean, I back him. I back him because I know that he's for the children. I back Ernie. I back Ernie Shell. You know, I mean, talk about a man that gets a lot of. Where the hell is he anyway? Where is Ernie? Have they even expedited him into Kentucky yet? Where is he? I'm going to have to go on a manhunt for him. I don't even know where Ernie's at. Yeah, I know he's in jail. I mean, why haven't as a U.S. citizen, we have a right to a fast and speedy trial. We have a right to a fast and speedy trial. I mean, if they're holding him in one state because of another state, then either ship him to that other state and let's get it done, or let him go, right? Let him go. If they can't give him what we have a right to, our constitutional rights, then let him go, right? I might have to make some calls to a lawyer, and try to figure this one out, because something's shady here. And Ernie's for these kids. We need Ernie back. And also, I'll tell you, Ernie's good entertainment. He's good entertainment. I miss him. Right? Who in the hell else is going to come out here and be as crazy as Ernie, right? We need him back. I'm going to tell you, we got to figure out where he's at. What's going on? I mean, he ain't done, here's my thing. If they ain't going to solve these missing children's crimes and put these evil human beings that are destroying children away in prison, then please let Ernie out, because he didn't do nothing as sinister as that. And if you're not going to put people in there that really commit crimes, what the hell are you doing with somebody that really didn't do much of nothing at all? Just saying. Oh yeah, I seen it. Yes, he's got his whole trunk full of pops and waters, and he's out actually helping his neighbors and helping out, doing things. Yes, he is. God bless him. And he's kind enough and he's good enough to get out there and do all of this and help out, right? But I'm sure that these people over there at White Boys, the ones over at White Boys, I'm sure they'll come back out and, oh no, he filled up his trunk for himself. We seen him pack all that in. We saw him pack all that in yesterday. That was for him and his family, right? You better film it. Don. You better film it all. You better film giving it away. You better film all the stuff, because you're going to have liars if you don't, right? You're going to have liars. You got to film it and show everybody you're giving it to, and all the hugging and the thanking and the shaking hands, and for people to believe it. Because if you don't, somebody will say you carried it in your house and it was all for you. And people believe them, and people will believe them. It's sad. Yeah, we all do. Every last one of us. They ain't no saints. There ain't a one of us here tonight. There ain't a one of us on panel nor in the chat. None of us are saint. We like to think we are. I know I do, but I'm not. I have to hit reality, right? I have to hit reality too. Nope, PG, you're no saint. You let your flesh get to you, and you do a lot of things you probably shouldn't, right? So, and we all do, all of us. That's why we need Jesus. That's why Jesus is there, and why we need Jesus. Because you know what? No matter how good we think we're going to be, how good we think we are, I'm going to tell you what. I'll get into lunchtime, and boy, I think I'm rocking it. I'm rocking it today. I've been happy since I got up. I've been saying thank you, excuse me, I love you. You know, all that peachy honey pudding pie stuff. Everything's going great. In a half a day, I'll be gone, and I'm saying, I'm going to rock this day, boy. I'm going to beat the devil today. And the next thing I know, something pissed me off. And I'm going to tell you what. There you go. There you go. Now I got to go to church and say, Lord, I know I shouldn't have done it, but I did. I sure hope you can forgive me. I sure hope you have mercy on me. You know, hope you give me another day to be better, you know, than I was today, because I didn't fulfill this day. And I'm going to be shocked if I ever do. If I ever fulfill a full day, I'll be shocked, right? Probably have to stay in bed. Probably have to be in bed all day long. And I probably still going to flunk it, right? Because I'm going to be pissed off that I can't get up and do all the things I'd like to do. So I'm still not going to be perfect. There you go. I mean, you know, no matter what, you might as well just got up and tried to do your best, right? And that's all anyone can do. It's true. That's all any of us can do. Every day, we screw up. Every single day. Nobody's perfect, you know. I'm sure a lot more people than me, you know, struggle with trying to be perfect. Well, you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it. Right? People say, well, Jesus was perfect. I'm going to tell you something. Jesus got really pissed off. And when the fig tree didn't have no figs on it, what did he do? Right? What did he do? He said that fig tree ain't going to give figs no more because it didn't have one to give him. Right? And then Jesus went into his father's temple where they were people trying to sell stuff, and he turned over all the tables, right? He flipped up all the tables. He got angry. He got real angry. So Jesus knows exactly what it's like to be in this body. He knows exactly what it's like to be hungry. He knows what it's like to be angry. He knows all the things that we go through. That's why he's there to forgive us. He knows how hard. I mean, he had to go off, right? He had to go off many times. He had to go off many times alone to pull himself back together, right? To pull himself back together in this world. So I'm going to tell you, even Jesus knows how hard it is to be a human. And that is why he has so much mercy upon us. He knows we're going to mess up. Nobody can be perfect. No one. Absolutely not. But that's for another discussion. That's for another discussion, right? What I wanted to show tonight is, you know, they said that Sebastian Rogers was supposed to be seen at some type of gas station. I don't know about this gas station. That's what I heard. I heard he's supposed to be seen at a gas station. Anybody else, if you heard that he was supposed to be seen, he went missing on the 26th of February. Now, I heard that someone's supposed to seen him with Chris Prowfoot at a gas station in a truck, a big truck at a gas station on the 27th or the 28th. Has anybody else heard that? Anybody else heard that? That he's supposed to have been out at some gas station with Chris Prowfoot. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know. I would think that that gas station would have had surveillance. And if Sebastian would have been seen there with Chris Prowfoot on footage, if he'd have been seen with Chris Prowfoot on footage after he came up missing on the 27th or 8th, I would think Chris Prowfoot would be in prison right now. I think he'd be in jail. So that don't make no sense to me. That ain't making no sense to me whatsoever. I think that's another one of those fairy tales, run around the bush, bullshit, if you ask me. Because I know every gas station's got surveillance. If they want it, they need it. You know how many gas stations, have a lot of problems, people stealing stuff, people, hey, wanting all the money in the register kind of thing. They have surveillance. And if they, and surveillance would have been pulled, it would have been checked. And if he'd have been seen with that child, he would be in prison, definitely in prison. So, I don't want to hear that one. That just don't sound right. That don't sound right to me. Oh, wow. Really, Lisa? Ali is ignoring reports. I called with information and proof of something, and they told me, thank you for calling, but we don't think a YouTuber is reliable. Whoa. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Ren says, PG, that was proven wrong long ago. Well, I'm going to tell you, they got it surfing out here again, honey. They got round 2 of it coming out now. Okay, Lisa. Yeah, well, it's coming out again. It's coming out again. It's first up. I mean, I guess they were banking on people like me that didn't hear about it the first time. Right? So, because I didn't hear about that one. I didn't hear about no gas station thing. It was new to me, but I heard about it. I heard about it recently, and I'm like, what? That don't sound right. That's just common sense right there. Common sense tells you that, businesses have surveillance and law enforcement's going to go through surveillance and, and somebody's going to be arrested if the surveillance proves to be true. So, and it didn't. It didn't. I'm going to tell you in the Sebastian Rogers case, and, I agree. I agree, Diane. I really do. I mean, I agree with you. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, the Sebastian, the Sebastian Rogers case, this little guy, he went missing. He went missing, as I said, February 26, 2024. And I think the whole problem, I think everything that's behind Sebastian, I like to say, it's not Seth or his mother. I like to say that, but it is, it is kind of his mom. It is kind of his mother too. But, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion, and I'm damn entitled to it as a U.S. citizen. Freedom of speech, rights to think and feel and say what I please. And this is a big case, right? And everything is public, so you are allowed to talk about it. Nobody can withhold you from doing that. But it's my opinion, My opinion is that this mother was happy. I think she was happy with her little boy. There he is. I think she was very happy with her son, right? You could tell. You could tell she liked her. She liked her son, you know? And he liked his mom. This is the last picture. This is the last picture ever taken of Sebastian. This is the picture taken the night that he disappeared. The last one. And they both look very happy, right? Both of them. They're having dinner together. Everything seemed to be going good. And, you know, she took a picture of her and her son out eating. But, you know, I think the real problem for Sebastian was this man right here. I think this right here was the real problem. The real wedge. This guy was a fucking wedge. He came in and he was a wedge onto that family. And a big wedge. And he wanted to be a wedge. And he was a wedge. This kid right here was very, very happy. Very happy child. Very happy child. This kid seemed to love everything. But this guy didn't want that kid loving nothing. This guy didn't even want that kid around. He didn't want that kid around. And we all know it. We all know it. You know, I like to call out the truth on a case. I like to call out the truth. You know, I think Katie wanted this. I think she wanted, you know, she thought she was going to get with this guy and have a beautiful family. And I'm sure that's, you know, that's what he projected at the time. I think he projected at the time, you know, that he loved her and her son. How can I love you if I don't love your son too? I'm going to be your husband. I'm going to be a dad to him. She was getting fed, spoon-fed all the bullshit, right? All the bullshit. He wanted to wedge himself in there. And at the beginning, you know, he acted like he was going to accept the whole package or nothing, right? But after he got in there, he started showing that he wasn't accepting a whole package. What he was accepting was her and giving the boy hell. That's what he was doing. He was whooping that boy with this belt, right? He was whooping the boy with the belt. I mean, that's been established. That's been established. Supposedly, allegedly spraying him down, right? Spraying him down with a freaking power washer. That's what I heard. I heard he was spraying him with a power washer, right? Who the hell does that? Who sprays a kid with a power washer? That's what I heard he allegedly done. He goes starting problems. The boy comes up missing and he goes starting problems with the dad, right? I'm not sure if there's a problem here or not. I don't know. I got my suspicions. But for the record, I heard this was a problem, right? This was a problem. He was going up and having a problem. He even tells dad, go to the church. Go to the church, Seth. Go to a church, my friend, and you might find your son. Right? Go to church and you might find your son. What the hell did that comment mean? What the hell comment did that? What was that comment? Go to church, you might find your son. Go to church, you might understand that your son is already with the Lord. Is that what he was telling Seth? Why don't you go to church and maybe God will enlighten you that your son is with God and no longer on this earth? Was that his way of telling Seth, your son is no longer with us? Mother freaker? I don't have to worry about your son no more because he's no longer here. Go to church and understand that your son's with God, not us. Is that what he was trying to tell Seth? Hmm. In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, that's exactly what he was trying to tell Seth. You know, I don't know, but it sounds like it, right? Hey, Beck, how you doing? Yeah, I think that was so wrong. I think that was so wrong, right? And also, yeah, I do not like Chris Prowfoot at all. And in that interview, he was answering the questions, but how the hell would he know if he wasn't there, right, Carrie? Exactly. I do not understand why these people harm their children. I don't either, sassy pants. I don't. He told a teacher he was being abused. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Diane. He did. He told the teacher he was being abused. Right? Hey, big, it's good to hear you're doing good, sweetie. God bless. God bless. I'm sending you out love. Um, yeah, absolutely. Right. Seems desperate. Marry someone you don't know till it's too late. Oh, I think Katie knew exactly. I think she knew exactly what she had married when she did. And I'm going to tell you, there's always hints before you marry someone, right? There's always hints before you marry someone. You know, I have dated, you know, um, I have dated after my husband passed away. I dated, not very many guys, but but a couple. I dated a couple guys before I got with my fiance. Um, but I dated a couple other guys, and oh yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. I got like some girlfriends. I got some girlfriends, and this one girlfriend, she's like, uh, come on, go out to, girl, you stay home too much. Let's go out, let's go out and party, you know. You need a drink. You need to calm down. You need to relax. You need some leisure time. I'm like, well, that's why you get your hair done, your nails done, go shopping, right? Ain't that enough leisure? Oh, girlfriend, what good's it to do all of these things if you ain't gonna get out there and rock it? Okay, yeah, go out with me. Go out with me and my old man. We're gonna have fun. Well, they bring along somebody, right? They bring along somebody with them, and yeah, they did. And so we're out. We're having a good time, right? We're having a good time, and the next thing I know, you know, me and this guy were talking and stuff, and you know, have you ever seen a person, something about them just really keeps bothering you? You don't like it, like maybe their hands, or maybe a mark on their face, or the way they stare. Or you ever been with somebody? Put a one in the chat if you've ever been, or something about someone just seems to, you like, keep drawing your attention, and not in a good way, like, really bothering you, where you want to get up and leave, right? Like you want to just get up and run. um you know and that was, this is what's going on, right? This is what's going on is, um I'm having a real problem, right? I'm having a real problem. And I mean, he talked normal, he acted normal, he but man, I'm gonna tell you, I just, for some reason, my attention just kept being drawn to this guy's hands, right? To his hands. And I just needed to leave. That's what I needed to do, is just leave, right? And so, I had to excuse myself, and I asked my girlfriend and her boyfriend, hey, you don't mind walk me to the car, right? Walk me to my car. Um, Something about that guy just didn't sit right with me. And, when I went up to get, something to drink, or I went, it was like he was there, just like there, right? And I'm like, all I want to do is just be somewhere else. So anyway, I left, and thank God I didn't ever see that guy again, right? Didn't want to see him again. Something, I don't know what it was with his freaking hands, but I just didn't like him. And so, you're going to see things. You're going to notice things and see things. Now, then I dated another. Matter of fact, a couple guys. And I'm going to tell you something. Everything was going great. I thought we were getting along really good, right? Really good. And then you know what the guy says? Why don't your kids do that? Right? Because he showed up. And I was, cleaning out my car. I was washing my car, cleaning out my car. And I like to clean out my own car because I have receipts and I have stuff in there that's important sometimes. And I don't want it trashed. I won't want to throw it away. I don't want it destroyed. So, I like to pick up and clean my own car. My car ain't that big of a wreck anyway. It's just a matter of wiping it down, right? I just disinfect it, wipe it down in case one of the kids has had a cold, or I had a cold, or somebody, I give a rides to, or whatever. I don't know if they got a cold or they don't. So I clean my car like once a week. I like to clean out my car, sometimes more, sometimes less. But anyway, at least once a week. If things get really hectic, every couple of weeks, I clean the car, but I keep the car clean. I like to, keep my car clean. And it's probably because I've got one child that likes to put, their extra food under the seat. Oh, wrap the hamburger back up. I'm going to save it. I don't know how it ends up on the floor and tucked under the seat. You're going to save it. You're going to eat this later. Why is this hamburger under my seat? Oh, yeah, I was going to save that. I was going to take it in. You didn't take it in. Why would it be under this? If you was going to take it in, why would you put it under a seat? Why would you even put it on the floor? You would eat something you stick on the floor? I'm staring at my kid like, you wouldn't be lying to me, would you? But then again, I'm a germophobic. My kid isn't. My kid's a kid. Probably would eat the hamburger, right? Probably would. I remember me and my brother, when I was a child, going on a picnic. We went to a picnic. And, and trust me, we got in a little bit of trouble. But, we were little. And nobody seemed to be wanting to wait on us, right? It's like everybody's waiting on everybody, but nobody's waiting on us yet. So we decided to hit the dessert table, right? We didn't really want the food anyway. We decided to hit the dessert table, and we got, we weren't smart enough. We weren't smart enough to know that, this stuff's in reusable pans that people are going to look for at the end of the day, right? To take their pan back home. We wasn't that smart. So anyway, long story short, we took pan and all, And, you know, we wasn't able to eat it all, so we shoved it under the seat. We shoved it under the seat. We was going to eat it later. So I could pretty much understand my kids, you know. Yeah, okay, you probably was. Because I remember I was going to too, you know, before I had enough sense not to. So, and at least my son, if he was going to have it later, at least he was smart enough to wrap it back up, right? Not leave it wide open, and going to come back to it. But anyway, my brother and I, we didn't get in trouble. We didn't get in trouble right away. We got in trouble when the person looking for their pan couldn't find their pan, started making phone calls. Did anybody see a pan? And my dad cleaned his car and found the pan, right? That was the pan. That's, you know, that's when, you know, dun, 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 you got to face the music. And my brother was a lot better at wiggling his way out of things, which he was older than me, but he could get his way out of things better than I could. You know, I just look guilty as hell. And you know, it's like my whole face said it all. So I wasn't going to be able to, you know, go down any path of, you know, I needed a lawyer. That's what I needed. I needed, and a damn good one. But anyhow, you know, it didn't go well. And so I had this guy, you know, ask, why ain't your kids doing this? Right? Why ain't they doing it? Well, I told him, why ain't you getting in your car and hauling ass? He's like, excuse me? I said, that's what I want to know. Why ain't you getting in your car and hauling ass? He's like, I don't understand. I said, well, when I first met you, I told you something. I told you that my kids are my kids, right? That you're here for me, not them. And the first time you say something about them I don't like, your ass is gone. So why are you still here? Why are you still here? Really? Yeah. You need to leave, and you need to leave now. What I'm saying is, man, you got to have rules. You got to have boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, people are going, you know, if he would start saying it to me, then before I know it, he'll be saying shit to my kids, right? If he gets a way of saying stuff like that to me, it's just a matter of time. He's going to think, you know, he could step up and start saying stuff to them. No, nope, not today. You know, you have to have rules. You got to have boundaries. He don't feed my kids. He don't clothe my kids. He don't shoe them. He doesn't put a roof over their head. He doesn't do a fucking thing for them. So why are you asking me anything about my kids? Right? You're not here to talk about them. You're here to hang out with me. You can't do that. You got to go. And he had to go. And, you know, same way with another one. I was packing out garbage, and he's like, why ain't your kids doing that? I said, son of a bitch, not another one. He said, what? I said, you know, the last time I was cleaning out the car, and I had to ask the person, why the fuck you still here? Now I got to ask you. And it seems like the conversation went the same exact way. The same exact way. Like, are you serious? Yeah, I absolutely am. See ya. You get with somebody else, maybe you'll learn to not talk about their fucking kids. Something you ain't feeding, putting a roof over their head, doing nothing for. Maybe you'll learn not to talk about them and just be there for them instead of, trying to be some asshole where their kid's concerned. Nobody likes assholes. Does my kids look like my slaves? No. My kids are my kids. I didn't have my kids to work their asses off. I had my kids because I love my kids and I just wanted kids. That's why you have children. You don't have children to pick up your house, to set your table, to mow your grass, to take out your garbage. You don't have kids for all of that. You have kids because you love kids. And you want to have a legacy. You want to have a family tree. You want to have kids because you want somebody to talk to. You want somebody to come and visit you when you're old. You want somebody to make you laugh while you're still young. Your kids are a gift, not a workhorse, right? They're not workhorses. They ain't supposed to be doing all this stuff. I can do my own stuff, It's called use it or lose it, right? I mean, if my kids were taking out all the garbage and they was cleaning all the house and they're washing all the clothes and they're doing everything, that means that I wouldn't be using it and I would be losing it, right? Well, my kids are all fit and healthy. My ass would be sagging and dragging because I'm not doing anything to stay healthy. Some people like to take out their own garbage. Some people actually like to cut their own grass. Some people actually like, there's an old saying, if you want it done right, do it yourself. If you want it done right, do it yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna stick my kid out there to cut down all my flower bed, right? Oh, sorry, Mom, was those flowers? I don't want to hear that. I like working in the yard. I like taking out garbage. I like cleaning my own house. I like doing laundry, make sure everything's clean, right? That they didn't throw it back. Oh, that's my jersey. Throw it back. I need to wear that tomorrow and it might not get washed and dried in time. You're going to wear something dirty twice. No. I like to do the laundry, make sure everything is clean. I don't like people asking me, why aren't your kids doing it? But you'd be surprised at how many damn people will ask you why your children ain't doing it. Some of them even female, right? Some of them's even your friends. Like, they're females. Like, why don't your kids do that? Why my kids got to do it when I can do it myself? I mean, ain't that what kids are for? Like when you ain't able to do it yourself, when you ain't able to lift that big turkey onto the, from the kitchen to the table, one of your children carry it. One of your big, strong sons or daughters. Ain't that what kids are for? Is when, later in life, when you need a little bit of help walking, they're helping you. Why are you going to work them too soon, right? Now, if I thought they wasn't going to, if I thought my kids weren't going to help me, if I thought my kids weren't going to help me in the future, I'd work their asses now. I get what I could out of them now. Just saying, I probably, And I'll make sure, I don't know how they're going to be in the future, but when we get there, and I'm wobbling a little bit and my son doesn't grab my arm to help me study me up and help me walk when I'm like 90 or 100, he doesn't grab my arm and help me walk a little bit. I'm going to be like, son, if I knew you wasn't going to help me when I'm old like this, I would have worked your ass more when you were little. You'd have been packing out that garbage. Right? That's what my son's probably going to hear. My daughter too. But Chris Prowfoot, he came in there, and when Katie was dating him, I know that he said, ain't you going to make that boy eat the rest of that food? Ain't you going to make that boy do this? Ain't you going to make that boy do that? I bet you 10 to 1 she saw the signs, right? I think she saw the signs. But she didn't want to. She turned a blind eye to it. What I'm trying to say is, people who dislike your child, you're going to see the signs before you marry that fucker. And if you go ahead and marry him, well, that's on you. That's on you. But I think Katie wanted, Chris. I think she wanted him. He's going to milk cows 6 hours a day. What I tell my kids I want them to work at is getting a damn good education. I want them to work at getting a good education and being able to help others in this world someday. I want them to be educated. I want doctors. I want lawyers. I want my kids to be teachers, principals. I want them to be superintendents over schools. I want them to be something in the future. Maybe a governor, maybe a mayor. Something that they can help others, many, many other people, because there's not a lot of people. There's a lot of people want the job and they want the check, but they don't want to do the work for it. And I want my kids to do the work. I don't want to work them now to where they ain't going to want to work later. What I want them to work on now is the education to work and succeed and help a lot of other people in the future. That's what I want. And hopefully they want it too. Hopefully that's what they want too. It ain't going to benefit me. It ain't going to benefit me. Hell, even if my kid became a damn good psychologist, they still ain't going to be able to help me. They ain't no help for me. All right. I mean, point being is they'll be helping many, many others though. And, and all of that's for them. All of that's for them. So, I see so many parents like Chris. I see so many parents like this Chris guy and Katie, always wanting to be the boss, always needing to feel bigger than somebody else. And it's always the kids they want to feel bigger than and boss around and, and work these kids. I mean, Sebastian supposedly had to take out the garbage that evening. Well, why couldn't Katie take that trash out? Is her fucking arms and legs broke? Why couldn't she take the trash out? Why could she run it around and put it in a can? Why does it have to be Sebastian? Right? That's what I'm talking about. Or maybe why didn't both of them go out? Why didn't both of them go? Why didn't she say, hey, son, throw your shoes on. Let's me and you pack out the garbage. And maybe spend some time talking. Probably was a beautiful evening. They could have, walked to the can together, throw the trash away, maybe raced each other back into the house. Could have had some fun, right? Could have had some fun. That's what I'm talking about. When me and my kids, after my old man passed away, me and my kids, we ended up in an apartment. We ended up in an apartment for a while. It was really, rough. It was rough because, we were in an apartment, wasn't a whole lot of room. But it was cozy. It was nice. It was warm. It was cozy. And, but the thing with apartments is the freaking garbage is way somewhere away, right? It's like way far. You have to take your garbage like almost a mile. It feels like you're walking a mile to throw it away, right? I mean, one big place for your whole area to trash in. And, and sometimes, it gets late down in the evening, right? You're cleaning and everything. And especially wintertime, it starts, getting dark quicker than through the week, summer months. Anyhow, through the week, you're working, you work, then you get home and you got to cook and everything. So by the time you clean everything up and bag the trash, especially in the winter, it's already getting a little dark, right? It's dusk to dark, and that trash can's a long ways away. Sometimes my kids would go, they walk with me. Sometimes they walk with me down. Sometimes I drove. Sometimes I drive. But sometimes we'd walk. And they go with me. And, that's what we did. We'd race each other back. We'd race each other back to the, to the apartment. And sometimes we'd walk and just, talk and sometimes maybe say nursery rhymes or, math problems or whatever. If the kids were having a test, they would be like, what's this, and this, and this. And, so, brush up on stuff. Sometimes we really just talk about absolutely nothing and snigger and laugh about it. That's what people are supposed to do, right? That's what they're supposed to do. Like, I've got 4 kids, and sometimes when I'm cutting the grass, I'll cut a certain part, of the grass around the flowers and, in certain area. And then the next thing, one of the other kids will cut here and there, and another one, now it wants to take over the lawnmower and cut, But what I'm saying is we work together sometimes outside. My daughter's always hanging with me when I'm planting flowers and stuff. She loves to do gardening too. But, when you work together, it don't seem like it's work, right? It seems like it's fun. It seems fun because what we do, is you don't, whoever we'll pick out like even spaces. Mine is even to theirs. And whoever, finishes up their spaces last, you're on a time frame. And whoever took the longest gets no ice cream, right? You get no ice cream. Usually it's me, I don't know why, but usually it's me. But I'm always having to do around the flowers, which ain't no fair. Because, I just can't run up and down the grass real quick. Because I got to make sure, I don't run over the flowers. I don't run over the border. I don't run over this and that. Or hit or hit a rock or something, right? And it's not fair, you know, and they're hollering, you don't get ice cream. Yeah, that's when you realize you might not like your kids. I don't know. But Chris Prowfoot, let me tell you something. He wasn't out to have fun with with Sebastian and his mother. He wasn't out to have fun with them. He wasn't out to make their lives fun. He was out to make their lives miserable. He didn't like the boy. He came in. He was a wedge. He was a wedge. When he saw that boy, he saw Seth Rogers. He saw Seth when he saw that boy. Just like when he sees his daughter, he sees his daughter's mother. He sees the woman he really loves, the woman he really liked to stay with, the woman that won't have his ass, the woman that wasn't going to no longer put up with his shit. Right? And he loves his daughter because he loves his daughter's mother. And he wished he could really be with his daughter's mother. But he didn't love Sebastian because when Chris Prowfoot looks at people, he doesn't see Sebastian for Sebastian. What he sees is Sebastian's dad. And he don't want it around. He don't want it around. Because he knows when Katie looks at Sebastian, she may think about Sebastian the way he thinks about his daughter. He loves his daughter because he loves his daughter's mother. This guy don't think right. He doesn't think right. You're supposed to love your kid because it's your kid. Not because it belongs to this person or that person. You're supposed to love your kid because that is your blood. No other reason. You're not supposed to see their dad or their mom or anyone else. You're supposed to see them because they're their own person. But he saw Seth. And he did not like Sebastian at all because he felt Sebastian was taking time away from him with Katie. And when he said, you know, and it's like same as Seth taking time away from him. You, boy, are your dad, and you're taking time away from me and my wife. You're taking time away from me and my daughter because I don't want my daughter here around you. And Katie knew that Chris was about to leave her ass. He's about to divorce her because he just didn't like Sebastian. He just couldn't stand the boy, right? He couldn't stand her son. He couldn't stand, and that's why he whipped him with belts, and that's why he, you know, laughed at him and said things to him and made his life miserable and screamed at him and all the things that, you know, allegedly Sebastian was telling his dad, his real father, about what happened. It was, you know, it was a mess, an absolute mess. And good old Chris, you know, he, right now, good old Chris is trying to block who? Seth. He's trying to block Seth from Katie. Why? Why does he need to block Seth from Katie? What has Katie got to hide? Right? Why does this guy feel like he has to be on the defense? Not only for himself, but for Katie. Why does he feel he has to keep Seth at arm's length during a tragic time when their son is missing, a tragic time when they need to come together? Why does he feel this way? If they done nothing to the boy, then why all of this animosity and, you know, and feeling of I need to protect her and myself against you? What do you need to protect yourself from? That's my question. What are you protecting yourself from? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But that's what it sounds like. And Katie was the last one to see Sebastian. She's the last one that had Sebastian. It just seems, just seems odd to me. But when you're messing with this case, you are messing with troubled water. Troubled water. You got one side and you got another. And the only one in the middle of it, well, is little Sebastian and the Lord himself, right? The only one in the middle of it is the little boy and the Lord himself. And that's all that was ever in the middle of it anyway. Right? Sebastian's always been in the middle of this. And that is why he walked through hell. It's because he was always stuck in the middle of all of this right here. As you see, all of this. That couldn't get along, didn't get along, wasn't even trying to get along. And the only one catching all the crap was the poor boy in the middle. He was catching it from both sides. Katie and Chris couldn't stand Seth. They took it out on Sebastian. Seth really couldn't stand them, and I believe he took it out on Sebastian, if you ask me. When Sebastian said they yell at me, they scream at me, Dad, I don't like it. Chris Prowfoot, he whoops me with belts. He sprays me with pressure washers. Right? He hurts me. Oh, you need to suck it up, son. This is a real world. You need to suck it up and just look towards brighter days. One day you'll be an adult and you won't have to be abused by your stepdaddy no more. Really? Suck it up? And one day the abuse is going to stop? Who the hell tells their child to suck it up and one day that abuse will stop? Who does that? I'm going to tell you something. That damn abuse would have been stopping right effing now. Because I'd have had my ass there. And let me tell you something. Oh, hell no. I would have told Katie, no, he's not coming home. We're going back to court. And we're going to talk to the judge. And he's going to talk to the judge. I'm getting him his own lawyer. And he's going to be represented by himself against you and Chris, who he claims has been seriously abusing him. And until then, he's staying in my custody, whether you like it or you don't. But he didn't do that. This dad said, suck it up, son. Right? You just got to put up with it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know what Sebastian should have told him? How, I understand you saying that because it's not you going through all this damn abuse. It's not you. This boy seeing that he wasn't going to get nowhere telling his grandma. He wasn't going to get nowhere telling his dad. So he finally told some teachers. And the caseworker comes out and decides that she'd rather flirt with old Chris Prowfoot and try maybe to get her moves on than to protect this boy. Right? These are the kind of caseworkers you got. You got caseworkers that come out and mother freaking get sidetracked by some ugly freaking Chris Prowfoot. I mean, come on. Really? You're so fucking desperate that Chris Prowfoot turns you on? You got me bent. You must be one ugly woman. You must feel like you can't get nothing else to be, to be sitting there trying to come on to that. Are you kidding me? Your job ain't to go to a person's house and come on to the man there. Your job is to go there and protect that child, which you failed to do. because he's now missing and no one knows where he is. And he reached out to you and you didn't damn listen. Because your ass was too busy, right? Thinking about playing Animal House. Right? You're too busy trying to play Animal House. You're too busy thinking you still fucking got it. And Chris was making you feel like you did. And you turned on the boy for some ugly dude like that instead of doing your damn job. And that's my opinion of what happened. That's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. I'm going to tell you, them funky caseworkers, let me tell you something. They be all nasty too. They be all nasty. You know? I'm going to tell you, I don't care what, I don't look up to caseworkers. I don't look up to teachers or doctors or lawyers. I don't look up to nobody because they're just humans. And I'm going to tell you something, a whole hell of a lot of them you can't trust. You can't trust. Just because they're a teacher don't mean you can trust them. There's teachers in jail right now for essaying children, right? There's teachers in jail right now. There's daycare teachers in jail right now essaying children. Right? There's caseworkers all over the place not doing their job. They're not doing their job. A lot of dirty stuff goes on. Don Wells says that CPS, a lot of dirty shit goes on. He's right. He's right. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. He is right when he says that, a lot of dirty shit goes on. It does. A whole lot of dirty shit. Number one dirty shit is they don't do their job. And there's a lot of caseworkers that's inside the house smoking goody good with the mother freaking people. They're supposed to be looking over the house and taking the children's best interest at heart. And instead of being there, taking the children's best interest at heart and doing their job, they're sitting at the table, indulging in the very shit the children should be removed for, right? Exactly what they need to be removed for. They're sitting there indulging in. Just saying. Just saying. This is a fucked up world. It's a fucked up world where people don't do their jobs. And and that's okay. If you work at fucking McDonald's and you don't want to do your job, okay. Nobody cares. If you work at the car wash and you don't want to do your damn job, great. Nobody cares. But when you're working in a place that's going to be altering other people's lives, you need to do your damn job. Or go get a job at McDonald's or the car wash. Because if you're supposed to be protecting children and you don't and they disappear, that's on you. You sit there all day long and blame the parents, but no, you really need to blame yourself because you were there. You had an opportunity to save these children and you didn't. So you had a hand, and whatever happened to them, your hand was in it. Now, if you're evil enough to live with that, great. But I think it's a little damn too late to try to do your job once something happens to someone that you can't take back. It shouldn't have been, oh, I'm going to do my job now. You should have always been doing your damn job, right? Should have always been doing it. Hey, Brad, I appreciate that, girl. God bless. Love you, lady. Keep up the good work on Summer's case. Much love. Bite me, you haters. God bless, girl. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. God knows we can use it. Hey, girl. Much love. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand the way people think. I don't, you know, people used to take their jobs seriously. People used to take their job. If they were a manager, well, they managed it. You know what I'm saying? They rocked it. They rocked their job. They did what needed to be done. And they had pride, they had dignity, they had morals. And they said, "Hey, this is my job. You're underneath me and you're going to do your job or your ass is going to get fired. You're canned." Right? They didn't want to be your friend because they was your boss. And they couldn't be your friend. They would, there was no room to be your little friend because they needed to stay professional, and they needed to make sure that the company hired them to make sure that things run right. You got a job to do and everybody needs to be doing it. You can miss off after work. You can miss off before work. But during work, you need to be working. And people used to, and people respected that. They respected the boss, right? You had respect for the boss. You said, damn, they make sure that everything's running smoothly. And the boss had respect for you. Why? Because you listened and you did what you're supposed to be doing. And it was a good world. But nobody does that anymore. Nobody does that anymore. Everybody wants to, the boss wants to be friends with everybody and everybody wants to be friends. And nobody wants to do what they need to be doing. And they're all just messing off and nothing's getting done. And a lot of people are suffering because of it. Because every action has a reaction. Right? Every action has a reaction. And that caseworker could have saved, the caseworker could have saved Sebastian Rogers and didn't save him. Just like they could have saved Summer. They didn't. First, they start saying that there's flashlights. Oh, there's flashlights outside. They're trying to put Sebastian out there. No flashlights. No flashlights. Right? There was no flashlights. There was no sin of him being outside. There was, they wouldn't even know evidence of him ever going to a garbage can to throw away any trash. See, he's like, thumbs up, PG. Absolutely. No signs of me whatsoever. But there was signs, mommy and stepdaddy says we think he walked away. Well, you didn't, you two left. I mean, if you think he walked away, then he might be coming back, but you left. You left the house. You left the big empty house. Right? You didn't care enough to stay there and wait to see if he's going to come back. You leave. You go party with your friends, right? You go have fucking picnics. You want to be anywhere but at that house. Why? What are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? You don't want to be at that. Your son's missing, and you're afraid to stay at your home and wait for him to come home. I'm going to tell you what. I would have been afraid to leave. I'd have been afraid to leave the place. I wouldn't have been afraid to stay. I'd been afraid to leave. And I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't have been afraid of a damn thing after someone was evil. If it truly happened and someone's evil enough to maybe lure my son away like that and do something harmful to my son, do you think that I am going to, do you really want to come and try to see me or have anything to do with me, I would be waiting on you. My prayer would be whoever did that would come back. I beg them to come back, right? Bring your ass back, because I'm not a kid. I ain't going to be afraid of nothing. And you know, if Katie was afraid, well, couldn't her mother stay with her? Couldn't her sister stay with her? Couldn't some? I know, I'm going to tell you, I know enough about out here in this YouTube world that if I needed somebody right now, I said, hey, you know, I'm having some problems. I know right now, if I told people, look, PG's having some problems with, you know, and I'm really in fear to stay right now at my home because of it. I'll tell you right now, there's probably 4 or 5 people or more that would come and say, hey, PG, don't worry, I'm pulling up, girl. I'm pulling up. My house would be full. My house would be full of people hanging out to keep me safe. I'm going to tell you, I don't think, look how many people Seth has. Look how many people Seth has hanging around him, keeping him safe. I don't think Katie would have had a problem getting someone to come stay in her home, keeping her safe. If she was scared to stay there, there is people out here. There is people out here willing. There is YouTubers willing to come and stay with you and help you and be there for you. I'm telling you, there is some good people out there. Some really good people. You know how many people offer to show up on Ben Hill and hold hands and go through all of those wooded areas? I'm going to tell you, there was enough. There was enough. Nobody would have got lost. They'd have covered that whole place and held hands from one end to the other and back to that road. Yeah. And that's you know what? That is a good call. That is a good call, girlfriend. They're in the Navy and they're afraid. Exactly, Stephanie. Exactly. Yep, I'll flow across the ocean, PG, and I'll see you next winter. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. They're military. They're military. What are they afraid of, right? I mean, I think after boot camp, you know, you got all of these sergeants in your face calling you every name in the book, right? You go to ask them a question, they cuss you out, right? Sergeant, I just wanted to, you know, confirm that we'll be doing this tomorrow or next week. You idiot. If you already knew it, why are you asking me again? Get out of here. Get out of my face. Right? I mean, after you go through all that hell, but I mean, military's like checking yourself in to a place worse than prison. Right? Prisoners got more freedom than people that's in the military. Prisoners, they have more freedom. I mean, when they tell you Uncle Sam owns your ass, he does. And you come out of the military, you know, you're not supposed to be afraid of nothing. I mean, they done hiked your ass miles and miles and miles, right? Don't even try to sit down. Don't even try to sit down before they tell you can. They'll come up and kick you in the backside, give you a boost. You know, it is what it is. Military's not a good thing, man. I'll tell you what, it's not a good thing. It's rough. It's tough. But it ain't supposed to be a good thing. They're training you for not good things, right? Nobody wants to go to war. You're being trained for not good things. And they have to make you tough. They have to make you tough as nails. You got to be able to withstand a lot of stuff. And they really put, they put you through it because that's what they got to do. The enemies are not going to be nice. Enemies are not going to be nice. That sergeant, those people are nothing compared to enemies. So they're just getting you ready with a little bit of abuse that you may see. And when you come out, you should not be afraid to stay by yourself. So why did they leave? Why did Katie leave? I mean, you're right. That was a great call. I mean, this is a military, she has been trained. She has been trained in the military. Why did she take off? I'm going to tell you something. Have you guys ever, lost someone? Have you ever lost someone and you just couldn't stand? You just couldn't stand to see something that they gave you, so you had to put it away for a while, or maybe a place you and that person went a lot. You just can't go there because it reminds you too much of them. You break down. Have you ever had that? I mean, put a yes or no. Have you ever, it just hurts too much. It just hurts too much. Maybe you broke up with a boyfriend and you can't stand to look at the ring he gave you, or you can't stand to go or hear a certain song, or maybe you lost your, an aunt, an uncle, a good friend. Maybe you had a friend that you really loved and cared about, and maybe they gave you something. Maybe they, gave you a half of a necklace, a best friend or something, and you just couldn't, you had to put it away for a while because, every time you seen it, it just broke your heart. I think we all can relate to this. You think maybe Katie couldn't stay there because, whatever went down, she kept flashbacks and she just couldn't handle being there. She just needed to not be there, right? I mean, like some people have an accident, right? They have an accident on a certain road or a certain place, and they avoid that road for a long time after the accident, don't they? They avoid it. Like they don't want to turn down that road. They'll go a different way because, because of the accident. The trauma of it. Or, you avoid certain things because of a certain reason. And she was avoiding it. I don't think, when Stephanie brought up the military thing, I said, oh, hell, that's right. So I got to throw fear out the window, right? I got to throw fear out the window for both of them because they have been military trained. And when you're military trained, you ain't afraid of nothing. Trust me. Nothing. I mean, you lay down, you've been military trained. You lay down anywhere and go to sleep. You don't even care. Because I'm going to tell you, you wake up like that. You have been trained. If you hear a branch crack, you wake up. You have been trained to keep your eyes open and watch over the other people, over your fellow brothers and sisters in there. You have been trained, you ain't about to close your eye when it's your time to watch. I mean, so no, fear would not be the reason. It has to be, sentimental. It has to be, it's got to be fear, all right. Fear of seeing, fear of reliving certain moments that can only, you got to get away from it because you can't stand seeing the area. You can't stand seeing everything replay itself anymore. So one thing we do know is it didn't happen in that RV. It didn't happen in the RV. We know that. Now, Sebastian, they got an RV, and Sebastian was in the RV probably just as much as he was in the house, right? They went on trips and stuff. Sebastian went too. He was in the RV just as much as he was in the house. So if she could live in the RV, but not the house, then it wouldn't be just regular memories she's trying to escape from. Because if she needs to leave the house because of regular memories, she'd have to leave the RV also. What I'm saying is that the house just reminded her of regular events and memories. Then the RV would be reminding her of those things as well. So she couldn't, what I'm saying, she couldn't be able to live in it. So it has to be something different than just regular current events going on. That's a big red flag. That's a big red flag right there, you guys. Big red flag. That's saying, in my opinion, a very bad tragedy went down in there, and she didn't want to keep reliving it. And they said, and this is two people that said, and wanted to talk about Sebastian, but they wanted to talk about him in very bad ways. I think they called out every fault this kid had. I didn't hear anything good, did you? I didn't hear nothing good. I didn't hear that, hey, he was excelling in school. Hey, he was funny. He was bright. He was such a great kid. He was very mindful and caring and successful, and he was really going to become something someday. I know, he had a few little things but he was fighting to move through it, achieve it, and overcome. I didn't hear none of these things. What I heard was he runs funny. He dances funny. He doesn't take good pictures. They'd rather him not even be in a picture because he looks so goofy in a picture, right? That's why they don't take family portraits. I heard all kinds of horrible, ugly things. I didn't hear I didn't hear anything good. I didn't hear anything kind, loving, and caring. What I heard is, you guys should all understand, you guys should all understand what a problem this kid was for us. You should feel sorry for us. You should have mercy on us. It's not about him. Kind of like the Wells, right? Kind of like the Wells. That's what I was hearing. right? The Wells were talking about all of Summer's downfalls, right? Matter of fact, said she may not even get into heaven as far as they was concerned. That's horrible. That's horrible. Chris said he had given him credit for playing. Yeah, right. Yeah, they were on Caring. They were on Caring. You know, when they came out, they said everything that I didn't expect parents to say of a missing child. I knew right away that they were trying to scare people to dislike this boy and kind of feel sorry for them. You know, they wanted the people, they kind of wanted the people on their side, not Sebastian's. It's another one of those things where you have to pick parent or child. You know, and I don't like that because that's a big red flag. It's a real big red flag. The Wells were the same way. You know, they just wanted it all go away, right? They wanted it all to go away. If it wasn't for the money, if it wasn't for the money, Don and Candace, they wouldn't have, they would have hid. If there wasn't no profit to be made, they'd have been hiding and not even coming out here. And if you take note, Chris and Katie, well, they don't really come out at all, do they? They don't really come out, period. They are hiding. They are hiding. The only time they come out is to try to, put some frivolous lawsuits against people or something. They get angry when they can't hide, right? That's why they put charges on Bullhorn Betty. It's because Bullhorn Betty wasn't letting them hide the way they want to hide, so they put charges on her so they can hide. If you ask me, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. And if the police didn't feel that it's foul play, why was they searching a landfill? Why was they searching a whole big freaking garbage dump, right? That tells me they suspected something, right? I mean, you're not going to go out there, you're not going to have all these men going through a bunch of dangerous garbage, right? God knows what they could catch or get, I mean, this right here is just gross. It's gross. It's a very, very hazardous thing to be doing. But they got them out there doing it. And not in just one dump, but 2 dumps, right? They got them in 2 different dumps. Searching for what? Sebastian. Yeah, think about that. Think about that. If the Prowfoots are so innocent, why the hell was they out here looking in garbage mines for the kid? Right? Somebody, make that make sense. Just saying. And after Sebastian comes up missing, they don't only leave, but this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Huddling together, right? Huddling together. Huddling together. And now they're playing with the drone. I hear they're out playing with the drone. Look, they're looking at themselves. They're looking at their own selves, taking pictures of themselves. Oh, we went out and we did something. We flew a drone for fun and took pictures of our freaking self. What the fuck? What are you doing for your kid? What have you did? This boy's been missing over 6 months now. Over 6 months, this child's been missing. You ain't ever done a damn thing. You're going to go out and play with the drone for a little while and leave. And you want everybody to Oh, great. This is beautiful. No, no. We want to know what happened to Sebastian. We want to know why the dogs didn't pick up any scent outside. We want to know why he wasn't on any type of surveillance anywhere, right? No, we didn't see him taking out garbage. We didn't see him outside at all. You know, we didn't see anything. We wouldn't even have knew he made it back home if it wasn't for his shoes being there, his phone being there, a couple of things he had being there. We wouldn't even have known he made it back home. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, I don't care if you pass a lie detector's test or not. A lot of people pass lie detector's tests who did it. What I'm saying is that's why it don't hold up in court. Lie detector's tests do not hold up in court. Whether you passed, you failed, whatever. It doesn't hold up in a court of law. They have been a lot of people guilty as hell pass lie detector's test. A lot of people. How they do it, nobody knows, but they do. Lie detector's tests are undependable. They're undependable. And I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, this is like a cut and dry case. Who was the boy last with? Mommy. That pretty much says it all, if you ask me. That's my opinion. And poor Seth, I don't think Seth was the greatest dad. I really don't. I don't think Seth was the greatest dad. I just don't. But I got to say one thing for the guy. I got to say one thing for him. He has been out there since the boy has come up missing. He's been out there. He's been hanging on to a lot of different people, some not so desirable, some are, but he's been hanging with from day one. He's been out there with many different people, searching and looking, and he's always welcoming, and he's got people willing to go to jail, right? Willing to go to jail for Sebastian and to figure out what happened to this child. He's got people willing to go to jail. And, at least he's looking, and he ain't giving up. And he's even got, Dog the Bounty Hunter on board now. And Dog's even talking about Summer's case. So, Seth is really stirring the pot. He's really stirring the pot, trying to figure out where the boy is. You got to hand him that. He's doing more than Katie and Chris ever did. Seth is doing a lot more than they ever did. I'm kind of upset with him for not getting a reward fund for Sebastian, but I'm not in his shoes. And I don't know, I guess he does have to eat. I guess he does have to pay bills and eat. And, and he's probably scared. He's probably scared he won't be able to pay his bills and eat and so forth. Maybe, and the people did give him the money to be able to, to look for his son instead of worrying about paying his bills. So, maybe I should be kinder. What I would do isn't always something someone else could do. Right? So, and, it's got to be hard on Seth. It's got to be hard. And I think Chris kind of let Seth know when he says, Seth, Go to church and maybe you'll find your son. I think that's Chris's way of saying your son's with the Lord. You'll have to find the Lord if you want to find your son. I think that's what he was telling Seth. Right? Seth just didn't get it. He just didn't get it. I got it, but I don't think Seth did. And, that's sad. That's sad. Or maybe that's where they put him. Maybe they put him somewhere around a church. I don't know. There was a man that he got this little girl. And he took her off and behind some buildings and, done some awful bad things, some very sinister stuff, unlike the little girl. And, and that was behind a church. It was behind a church, maybe, I don't know. It'd be sad if, there's some old church. If I was Seth, I'd be looking around. I'd be looking around every church. I would be looking around every church in the area between Katie's house and where Chris Prowfoot was working at that hospital. I would see if there's any old abandoned churches anywhere through there, and I would be, walking the grounds, seeing if there's any soft ground where the child may have been, anything that looks like it might. Well, 6 months later, the ground would be kind of it would be sinking in, because the dirt goes down in, right? It sinks. It's got a dip. When, a grave settles, the dirt will be lower than the rest of the ground at this time because of all the rain and everything. It'll pack it down lower than the ground level. If I was him, I'd be looking for that. I'd be definitely out there seeking and looking. Because, that's possible. That's very possible. I don't know what he said, what he meant about the church, but, I would still be checking every church. All the way through that area. I get people to help me. Everybody go to the different churches, start at Katie's and find every church leading all the way to where, there couldn't be a whole lot of them, all the way to where Seth was working. I check every last one on the map. I'd go and walk the ground and look. Because what better place to dispose of someone and not be found? Because nobody really goes snooping around church houses. That's true. Actually, that's the last place people will look. Vic, I like to believe that. I'm telling you, I like to believe that. But I'm going to tell you something. How many times have you joked with someone? How many times have you joked with someone and truly meant what you were saying, but you put it into a joke? That's really how you felt about the person. How many times? To lighten it up, but that's what you really think. How many times have you said things like, man, girl, you got 2 left feet. You be tripping all the time. And laugh when really that's what you think about the person because they really are tripping all the time. But you say it in a light way because you think, damn, you need to go back to birth and learn to walk again, right? How many times do people do that? A lot. We all do it. Every last one of us. Well, I'm going to tell you something. And how many times have you told someone something in a roundabout way? You didn't exactly come out and say it, but in a roundabout way. You're trying to spare their feelings or something. Or maybe you just don't want them, or you just give them a hint of something. It's an inside joke. Right? People have inside jokes. Just a hint. You figure it out. And that's the kind of person Chris is. That's the kind of person Chris Prowfoot is. He is definitely, when he says, when he meant something. When he told him to go to church, you might find your son. He was sending a message. Now, if that message is your son is already with the Lord, I don't know. Or if that message is your son's, upon some church property somewhere, I don't know. But I sure to hell be checking. You truly love your kid, you're going to follow the leads. And I feel that Chris gave him one. And and it wouldn't do no harm for Seth to start praying. Wouldn't do him no harm to go to church and start to praying. Because I'm going to tell you, if Sebastian is with the Lord, well, I'm going to tell you, the Lord has a way of letting us know. I mean, sometimes you have a dream, right? Sometimes you have a dream, or sometimes you just get that feeling and and that's the Lord speaking to you. So, it wouldn't hurt him a lick. Don't just search the grounds around the church, go in it and pray. Ask the Lord to let you know that you love your boy, and just please let you know what happened to him, that you really need to know, in the name of Jesus. And God will let you know. You'll know. God works in mysterious ways. Trust me. He does. But yeah, there's a whole lot out here going on. A lot going on in the Sebastian case. A lot going on. And, in all kinds of different areas. We got the Sebastian case blowing up right now. We got Don B. We got Pete Rose. Pete Rose passed away today, you guys. 83 years old. Did you know that? He passed away today. 83 years old. Beautiful, all-star American man. Beautiful. Human. It's going to be very sad to see, it's very sad to see some of the great people, that has made history, going away in this world. It's like we're losing everything. Slowly but surely, we're losing everything. We're pretty much lost baseball, right? And apple pie. America once, it was just a beautiful place. It was a beautiful place. And baseball and apple pie was, some of the great American traditions. And so was, Nashville, the Grand Ole Opera, and all those the best country singers and everything. They're all leaving us, right? They're leaving us, and the stuff coming behind them. Well, most of it's shit. To say, just to say, man, that's my opinion. My opinion. You know, all the good stuff's leaving, and shit's coming along, and it's just like Hollywood. Like Hollywood used to be beautiful movies, man. Watch the old movies. Watch the old movies, the original movies. They are outstanding, beautiful movies. And then watch what they're making today. Just bullshit. It's just disgusting, right? It's all disgusting. They don't have it. They lost it. Uh, I'm going to be honest with you. It is this woke stuff, um, make room for change. Change, it's great. It's bullshit. If it ain't broke, why are we trying to fix it? Right? Nothing was broke. Nothing was broken. There, all the great things, are passing away, and all we got left is shit. And nobody really cares anymore. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about Hollywood, and nobody cares about about music or anything. People today they're being their own movie stars, right? On TikTok. They're YouTube, TikTok, Facebooks, all this social media. People don't even care about anybody else. They're they're all texting somebody, playing a game, or being busy filming themselves, putting themselves out there. And nobody cares. Nobody cares, about anything else. So it is what it is, you know. Most people listening to music, they listen to the old stuff. They listen to the old music. They listen to the good music if they're listening to music at all. I like music too. I love music, but I love country gospel music. I love bluegrass. I love the old stuff. I don't listen to the new stuff today. I don't have nothing to do with it. My kids don't even like it. My kids don't like it. Um, my son was listening to some music the other day. He was listening to the old stuff. He's listening to the old stuff. I was like, wow, what's wrong with the music they make today? He's just like, I don't listen to that shit. Don't listen to it. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. Yeah. I don't think we should be moving forward. I think we should be moving back. I think we should go back. Let's go back to the real ice cream, right? Let's go back. Let's go back to the real America, hot dogs, baseball, and apple pie. Let's go back. Let's go back to when everybody was out and everybody was treating each other with love, kindness, and respect. Let's go back. Let's go back to the big fairs. Let's go back to the bake off. Let's go back to the coupons. Let's go back to the you enter to win stuff, right? Let's go backwards. Let's go back when this country really offered us something, because they ain't offering us shit now. They're all take, no give, right? They ain't giving you no coupons. They ain't they ain't telling you to write a jingle and you'll win a refrigerator, a new car or something. Nobody's giving you nothing. These stores, if you spend money, they ain't got no place that you can, you don't get to put no stamps in a book and go spend them and get yourself something nice for the house. You don't get nothing for what you do today. They jack the prices of the food up, and they tell you, get on your damn phone and enter in a bunch of coupons, or else you ain't going to get the deals when you go to the store. When you go to the store, you put your private phone number in there, and then we'll give you the coupons that we made you go through hell to clip, right? We're not going to send you a paper with coupons that you can just cut out and have them in your hand when you get to the store. No, because that will bug us. That will bug us. We will have to come over and actually work. We'll have to actually work and scan your little coupons, and we don't want to work. We want to stand around and chit chat with everybody else, do fucking nothing, look at you like you're a thief, right? Watch you like you're a thief while you're scanning the stuff. And we don't want to deal, we're going to put you through hell. At the gas pump, no, we're not going to check your oil. We're not going to wash your windows. We're not even coming out to pump your gas. Get you out of your own car, pump your own gas, use the nasty freaking water that God only knows what the hell's on it and in it. Slap that shit on your windows. Hope you don't get none on you. And wash your own freaking windows, right? And if you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, and if you want to save any money on gas, then you better be taking your ass to the grocery store and spending up all of your money there to get a little bit off the gas here, right? Because people who eat out don't save on gas. You got to go to the grocery store. You got to pay high prices for those groceries. Bring them home, cook them all up, clean it all up, and then you might save a little bit of money on your gas. We'll give you pennies on the dollar, right? I'm going to tell you something. They ain't giving us nothing but a hard time anymore. That's how I feel. That's my opinion. I ain't getting a damn thing but a hard time. And I'm kind of tired of it. No, it's not. It's not what can I do for this country? It's what can this country do for me? Because I pay taxes. And them taxes pay all of those people up there that we have voted into office to run this country. We're paying them. My tax dollars pay their paychecks. And I want to know what the hell they could do for me, because I'm already doing for them. Right? I'm going to tell you, this country needs to get woke, all right. They need to get woken up to what's really fucking going on. And then they better be standing up. Because this country needs change. And the change it needs is to be for this country again, instead of everybody else. America needs to be for Americans. That's what it needs to be for. Just saying, you guys. That's my opinion. But like I said, we're losing everything. We're losing it all. We're losing it all, man. We're losing all the good food. We're losing all the good people. We're losing everything. And we ain't got nothing left. We ain't got nothing left but a graveyard and a bunch of damn tombstones we're living in. And, I'm gonna, somebody just needs to open their doors up and garbage out all of this virtual world and start living in the real world again. That's what needs to happen. People need to, stop living like this and start living the real life again. Nobody's living real life. They're living this virtual, this weird ass virtual life. It's insane. I don't know why people do it. I don't know why people do it. I don't know how they do it. Everybody's afraid, and they're living in some virtual world now, all housed up, you know, looking crazy probably. Um, you know, fuck, I'd be looking crazy. I'm like, why? What the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing living in some virtual world? This is weird. This is, this is weird. What's wrong with the real world? Why is people not out there? Why is people not all over the real world living the way we're supposed to? I want our malls back. I want all of our businesses back. You know, I want to see what I'm going to buy. I don't want it to show up and find out it ain't what I want. And then they don't want to take it back. Right? They don't want to take it back. Fuck that. And, this ain't funny, but it is. You know, and also like, the UPS driver or FedEx or whoever the hell's delivering your stuff, the driver of the delivery driver giving you the dirty look, right? They give you the dirty look all the way up to your door when it's something big and heavy. They give you that dirty look. And if you try to tell them to bring it in the house, they're like, really? Like, what the F, And I mean, you barely get them to get it inside your door, right? And then if they have to come and pick it up, they're shaking their head. They're freaking, got like this little kid stomp back and forth and shaking her head and looking all mean. And, when they have to pull it back off because it, it wasn't what you wanted and it's all heavy and shit. You didn't have those problems back in the day. Nobody had them problems back in the day. People back in the day, they went in, there was all kinds of places that you could go see what you were going to get. I mean, you knew what they was going to bring in your house because you done seen it. You purchased it. They delivered it. And they didn't just bring it to the door and try to dump it. They took it all the way where it's supposed to go, put it in, right? Plug it up and everything. Take all the packaging and leave with it. I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And now, now you got to unpack it and you got to pull all that shit out and take it all to the garbage, to the dump. And it's like, what the hell? You wear yourself out. You got to scoot it all in, into place. And it's like, whoa. Where's the hospitality? And then, like those people a long time ago, they ordered something, man, they brought it. No, they were very careful. They was very careful bringing it into your house and setting it down. These people bring stuff today, man. I'll tell you what, they busted it off the door. They busted off of this. It's like they're almost dropping it. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And by the time they set it down, it's got to go back because, they done scratched it up, dented it. You know what I'm saying? They done messed it up, probably broke the legs on it. It's like a freaking comedy show. It's like you got the Three Stooges delivering your stuff, right? And you see, it's like they come and deliver something, they throw it. Like they throw it 5 feet onto your porch. It smacks the door. All great, that's busted up now, right? It was a nice tablet, but now it's cracked in 3 places. Nobody even cares anymore. They're coming up, ring your doorbell, handing you your stuff. Nobody does that anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because of credit cards. Because of credit cards. You know why you don't make much money with yard sales no more? You don't make much money. Um, you don't have people being, you know, the hospitality any longer. It's because of credit cards. When people used to carry cash money and they ring the doorbell to hand you your stuff and they might make a tip, or when they pumped your gas and they check your oil and they might get a tip, you know, here's a 20, keep the change. You know how it used to be. Hey man, here's a couple bucks for your trouble. I appreciate you doing everything good. You know, people were giving. They pull a little money out of their pocket and, you know, tip these people. Well, you can't tip them with a credit card. So they ain't no real tips going around anymore because nobody wants to carry cash money, and nobody wants cash money because they're afraid. People are too afraid of getting, you know, their money taken, right? They're too scared to keep cash money. So they put everything in the bank, and, you know, and that's why they don't get no hospitality. Nobody gets no hospitality anymore because people ain't got a few bucks in their pocket to tip people with any longer. You know, it's crazy. And, you know, I'm not going to go to no yard sale and pull out my credit card. Hell no. I'm not going to go to no yard sale and pull out my credit card for nobody's credit card reader. Hell to the no. Uh-uh. Next thing you know, you find out that, you know, somebody done ordered up freaking hundreds of dollars worth of shit and your bank's in the negative. No, absolutely not. I mean, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to hand your cards in regular stores, right? I think we all have gotten those letters that, you know, a bunch of cards, people use their cards. Oh, well, we just had some kind of hacking thing going on, you know, and then you got to be worried because you used your card there. Like 500 people done got it, and you might have been one of them. You know, I ain't going to be doing that. But a lot of people don't have cash on them. You know, I'm going to tell you all of this. They're gearing it. They're gearing it to where, you know, they couldn't control people. They couldn't control nobody when everybody had cash money. They couldn't keep a tab on what you got. They couldn't keep a tab on what you have. Trust me, your bank accounts and all your stuff's being watched. They're keeping a close watch on how much you're saving, all the stuff, all the stuff. See, they couldn't do that to people back in the day because people used all cash and there's no way of tracking that. The government wants to track your every move. They want to have their nose in every part of your life. Every part of your life. You think you're free? You ain't free at all. They ain't none of us free. Not freedom was a long time ago. Freedom was back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s, maybe even the 70s. But when the 80s and 90s hit, your freedom started going out the window. Your freedom started going out the window when your money, instead of getting a paycheck in your hand that you get to go cash, it went straight to your bank account. When all of your money started going straight into a bank account, you know, that's when your freedom got took. That's, you know, that's just the way it is. And, you know, and you got that credit card and they can keep an eye on everything. Your car has, your new vehicles and everything. They have a way to track you. The phone has a way to track you. They got cameras everywhere tracking you. We put cameras on our house. We think it's for our security. No. My cameras keep an eye on everybody around me, and theirs keeps an eye on me. And that's what we're all just monitoring one another. We're just all monitoring each other, and an evil ass world, and an evil world. Kind of crazy, ain't it? Nobody's free. Right. You have to go somewhere, and your kid loses a tooth, you got to go somewhere, and get it a gift card and hope somebody else ain't scratched it off and already used it. Right. Well, son, I think the tooth fairy used that card before he stuck it under your pillow. Right? You mean the tooth fairy stole my money? Yeah, little guy, that's what I'm saying. Oh, mommy, we need to call 911. Yeah, I think we do. I can't wait till the police hear this one. Right? You tell them. Since it was your card from the tooth fairy, I think you should be the one to talk to them. I'll be busy recording this one. Right? That's some funny shit, man. Listen, you guys. Listen, PG's got to get out of here for tonight. We'll pick back up. God willing, tomorrow night we'll pick back up. I got some things I want to bring out on the Summer Wells case as well. There's some things going on there I like to call out and make people aware of. And we'll just keep moving forward with all of this. So, yeah. Talk about the good old days. Always brings us back to the future. Right? But yeah, we'd definitely keep moving forward. But before I go out of here, I'd like to ask everyone, please send up those prayers for Summer Moon Utah Wells, for little Sebastian Rogers, Michael Vaughn. These are 3 children that have not been found. They have not been found, you guys. We need to keep them out here. We need to keep it moving in a righteous direction in order for law enforcement to understand these children have not been lost. They have not been lost in the shuffle. We're still out here. We're still the voice for the voiceless. And we want law enforcement doing their job. We want these cases solved. We want whoever the evil people are that did this to be prosecuted and put away. So let us keep moving in a righteous direction, sending the prayers up for these missing babies and doing what we do best. Calling out all the lies, catching everything that law enforcement don't seem to be able to catch because they're turning a blind eye. And there was also a young man a young man came up missing right after Sebastian Rogers. He was a college student. He was in Tennessee. He ended up in a river. He ended up in a river. And anyhow, law enforcement says, they don't see no foul play. He had gotten kicked out. He had gotten kicked out of a bar earlier. The night that he came up missing, he had gotten kicked out of a bar. He was going to walk like 5 blocks away to where he was, staying. And somehow he ends up in a river, but there's no foul play. Sounds kind of suspicious to me. Oh, he gets kicked out of the bar. He tells his friends he's going to walk back to where they're staying, and he'll meet them there later. See him when they get there. And he heads home. He ends up in a river, but there's no foul play. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, there's something shady about Tennessee law. I don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think somebody just, jumps in a river. When they're all happy and and have a bunch of college friends and, and a life to live. I don't see that. I don't see that. That's really weird. And they say, oh, no foul play there. I wonder what those parents thought, right? I might get a hold of them and ask them. I might get a hold of those parents and ask them what they think about that. Exactly. His name was Riley. Exactly, Janet. But that, I find that kind of suspicious. Tennessee don't seem to be solving no crimes, right? They don't seem to be solving no crimes. It's like law enforcement don't even work there. I don't know what the hell they're getting paid for, because they definitely don't seem to work. Just saying. Kind of weird. Kind of weird if you ask me. All right, you guys. Keep them prayers going up. Keep them going up for one another, too. PG's got to get out of here. I want to say much love. God bless. And good night.